By now, you've absorbed so much of the media's coverage and the Democrats politicizing. You've even seen them defend China. But what you may have forgotten is how the media and the Democrats treated swine flu. And as I say in almost every episode, once again, I'm going to test your attention span. I spent a lot of time and dug up some pretty amazing clips. Too many to use. But I'm going to use a lot. Stick with me on this. And before we go deep for comparison, let's look at how the media has been treating President Trump.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your response to this crisis?
The risk to the American people remains very low.
This is an unprecedented, potential severe health challenge.
It'll go away. It goes away. It's going away.
How is the New York Times? So here's ABC News calmly reporting on the swine flu becoming a national emergency.
The White House says this is a proactive move to make sure hospitals and local governments can respond swiftly rather than a sign that the crisis is deepening. Still, it is now official. Swine flu is a national emergency.
Okay. Very calm, very cool, very collected. There they are, not blaming Obama and Biden. We'll get back to ABC News a little bit later. But Obama's own CDC went ahead and stonewalled the media.
Your office has been obstructing the release of that information. Can you assure us that you would personally look into this so that we can get that public information released today?
We will certainly look into it. We do work in partnership with states and coordinate with them on release of data that is data reported to CDC by state government. So it's a question of coordinating with the states on release of information. I'd like to see if there are other questions, perhaps,
Doctor, one last question. The information is available to the CDC right now. What can we do to get that information released to us today? Your office has stopped communicating with us about this issue, so we had to come down here to ask you personally to get involved.
Blah, blah, blah question, blah, 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 Washington speak. The media didn't get crazy. The Democrats didn't make any wild claims. Obama even came right out and said there should be calm.
We are closely monitoring the emerging cases of swine flu in the United States. And this is obviously a cause for concern and requires a heightened state of alert. But it's not a cause for alarm. The Department of Health and Human Services has declared a public health emergency as a precautionary tool to ensure that we have the resources we need at our disposal to respond quickly and effectively.
He was so cool. I mean, he had it, right? He had this under control. Relax, relax, everyone. But then we took a dark turn. Department of Homeland Secretary Janet Napolitano warned, well, yes, there will be deaths.
It is very likely that we will see more serious presentations of illness and some deaths as we go through this flu cycle.
Okay, so let me insert a carrot here. When we realized that China lied about the threat of the Chinese virus, President Trump moved swiftly to enact a travel ban, only to be labeled a xenophobe and a racist. Now, what exactly, when we had this pandemic, what exactly did the Obama administration do at the border?
The CDC, the public health community, and the World Health Organization all have said that closing our nation's borders is not merited here. That the focus, the public health focus, should be on mitigating the impact of this virus. And so we are following those recommendations now.
Now remember, Trump's a xenophobe, he's a racist, closing borders bad until Canada does it or something like that. But back then, we had no idea how many infected people may have come into the United States. And this was late October 2009, and the media reported that the Obama administration was still asking for patience. Then we have Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius sounding a bit Trumpian by claiming the administration was making history with its efforts. The media and the Democrats still remain calm. Next to the H1N1 flu, officials from the Obama administration called for patience today as people wait and wait and wait to get the flu vaccine. Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius defended the government's response to the virus, saying it is more robust than ever in the history of this country. Now, the media and the Democrats hit the big red panic button when the Chinese virus death toll hit 40 or around 40. What was the reaction in the media when the swine flu death toll hit 4,000?
The government now believes roughly 8 million children have come down with the virus. In addition to the 540 who have died, 36,000 have been hospitalized. Among adults 18 to 64, there were an estimated 12 million cases, 53,000 hospitalizations, and almost 3,000 deaths.
What we are seeing in 2009 is unprecedented.
But the agency insists the outbreak hasn't actually worsened. Instead, the numbers now include cases that previously had been missed.
We have underreporting of cases for several reasons. Not all patients who actually die from this are detected, meaning that they don't even realize the hospital has what they have. In some cases, they suspect it but can't confirm it because the right tests weren't done. Or third of all, because of the fact that it just doesn't get into the system.
Still no blame for Obama and Biden, and the media didn't even flinch when a little baby died.
The CDC now confirms that a 23-month-old from Texas has died, the first death from this virus that has been reported outside of Mexico.
I hate having to use that as an example. So what exactly is the media focused on now? Well, it's woke language. Back to ABC News. Here's an ABC News correspondent using her time in front of the president wisely.
Are reports of dozens of incidents of bias against Chinese Americans in this country. Your own aide, Secretary Azar, says he does not use this term. He says ethnicity does not cause the virus. Why do you keep using this? A lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all, no, not at all. It comes from China.
They wouldn't be complaining if it was German measles, right? So here's the argument. The Democrats and the media love the Chinese virus. And no, that's not an over-the-line comment. They see it like this. This is it. A Democrat will win the 2020 election. We did it. Yay, us. We freaked people out and they turned on Trump. COVID-19 has given them everything they've wanted since day one. This pandemic has given them the ultimate opportunity that Mueller and impeachment could never. And that's exactly how the left and the media are looking at their collective efforts here. In times like these, you have to remember who is in control of the media. The left always has ulterior motives, and this wouldn't be the first time they've tried to use a tragic situation to try to make Trump look bad. This is a serious situation, but is it really worth scaring the population half to death? No. And the mainstream media knows that. But they are just as much at risk as we are, right? Why would they do that? Well, look at all the media personalities and celebrities that have tested positive. Did any of them have to wait online? No. As a matter of fact, the A-listers have been jumping to the front of the line for tests when they don't even have symptoms. And when they do test positive, they don't hang around online like the little people. Remember, these are the people on the left demanding that we all submit to single payer. What it comes down to is this. What's a few hundred dead, nobody, little people types versus another 4 years of Trump? The media and the Democrats are jumping up and down about Trump, and they did everything they could to protect Obama and Biden during swine flu. Now, I will close with this. This is a graphic from the CDC. This is the final death toll from H1N1.